And the wife would like to see this, wouldn't she? It's like, hey, I made dinner for you. Having Les Pauls for dinner. Okay, so anyhow, I'm gonna do this vid. This is basically a response slash debunking, if you will, challenge. I don't know, from me to the specifically a guy, channel named Dylan Talks Tone. This isn't going to be to put him down in any way or anything. I think he's a real nice guy. I mean, he's probably a lot better looking than I am. He knows, knows a lot of stuff. So, but not everything. And he's probably, does videos way better than I do. And like I said again, he's probably a lot better looking than me. I'm just some old guy with white hair. So I've been on the earth about over 50 years. Let's put it that way. Also been playing for probably over 35 years. So anyhow, so I'm going to debunk him, I guess. That's what you want to call it. Again, no offense towards him. Matter of fact, I think I can probably even help him out in this video and some things, an idea for him. So yeah, but I actually did a video. You can go look on my channel there. That's probably at least 2 years ago, and not a very good quality. I talked too much, which I'm probably going to end up doing this one. So sorry. Do the best I can, and I'm not a very good cameraman, and by doing this I have to hold my ones with a cell phone and hold it, and then so if I'm kind of off frame a little bit here and there, sorry about that. I'm not trying to deceive anybody by that, and I'll try to get everything in the shot the best I can. So I mentioned something to him. He was doing a video about the difference between a Gibson and an Epiphone, and what we have here is a Gibson. This is one here on the left. This is a very late model 2019 special order, or not special order, but special run for Guitar Center. It's a Gibson traditional, and for all intents and purposes, this is what you could currently buy is a 50s standard. The only difference here is the top. The wood grain here is like a single wave, so like a triple wave top. As you can see, it's not really pretty looking, but anyhow, the guitar sounds awesome. Okay, and what we have here on the right is a recently purchased here a couple months ago is an Epiphone Les Paul, and it is the modern model, and it has the neck profile on the back is a little bit different, and it also has the scoop thing back here on the hill. So, but other than that, I've owned several of Les Pauls. I've had I've had a Les Paul Classic. I've had other Epiphones. I've had studios, several Gibson studios. Had several other Epiphones too. Epiphone Les Paul Custom. I even actually currently own one other Les Paul Custom, which is the Jerry Cantrell Wynant. So yeah. So this isn't just compared from this guitar to this guitar. It's, when I say there's a difference, I mean the difference is between any Gibson USA model that is like let's see, a traditional basically, and higher end. The ones that are the Gibson USA, like the Tributes and the Studios, they're all identical, and they are different compared to this version, traditionals and standards and up. And they're also different compared to the Epiphones. That's what this is about. If I had a studio, it would be nice, because then I could show you the difference, and it basically fit like right here, kind of in the middle for these differences. So what I'm going to do is, well, let's go back. I think I mentioned something to Dylan Talks Ton. He was doing, I think I posted to his YouTube channel there on the video he was doing about the difference between the Gibson and the Epiphone. He did a great job on that, showing you all the differences there, and it's all, mainly just, the wood, the hardware, and all that stuff. And I'm not going to say he didn't say all that right. No, that's correct. And but I mentioned to him, I said, hey, there's a difference. I said, the main difference is, a lot of people don't notice this, is where the pickups are compared to the bridge and the say 22nd fret. So, and you can actually see that right now in that shot if you pay attention. You see it? Anyhow, so, but he made a comment, I think it was like a next video he did, or a live video, I can't remember, and said that he did measurements, and I didn't see him do it, so I don't know if he actually did it live or something. He said if there was a difference, there was thousandths of an inch difference, and okay, I don't agree with that. Then I watched him do another video and it was a live video, and he was talking about that subject again and again. I posted there, you can see that answer on the video, and my name comes up asking the question or the statement, whatever, and I still say that there is a difference, and I'm going to show you here in this video. And this isn't try to down Dylan Talk's tone. Like I said, I didn't see him when he supposedly, I think, did it with measuring it or whatever, but I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm going to show you, and I'm not going to use anything that can measure in the thousandths. And if you can see this on YouTube video without showing you something measuring in the thousandths, well, then it's obviously a difference. And what I'm going to use is this piece of wood right here. This is a back scratcher. The reason I'm using it, it just so happens to be the width of this right here. Works out pretty good to show you this. I'm also going to show you with my fingers, and also this piece of paper. Okay, so let's start. Right off the bat, I'll tell you, here's what the difference is. The difference between the bridge and the bridge pickup is shorter this way than it is on an Epiphone. On an Epiphone, it is wider this way. Okay, that's one of the differences. The other difference, if we keep moving up towards the neck, is, and this one's a harder one to see, is between the two pickups. There's a difference. The difference between these two pickups right here, or these are closer together, or I mean, sorry, said that wrong. These are further away from each other than on the Epiphone. And the third difference is on the 22nd fret. This is one that's more obvious. The bridge and this part here is the more obvious one. Between the 22nd fret and the edge of the fretboard where this pickup sits right up against, that pickup ring, is wider on the USA model than it is on the Epiphone. So right there, just in the video right there, you should have actually been able to see it. But I want to go a little bit more. I'm going to show you, first of all, that I can do this test blindfolded. You can hand me a Les Paul, or I don't have to touch it. You can just put my hand near the pickup, let me fiddle around, and all I gotta do is fiddle around and go like this. See that? I'm trying to stick my finger between there. Now, the little height nut on the USA model is a little bit thicker, so I'll raise it up just above it. Okay, and I'm trying to get my finger in there. That's as far as I can go. So if I put my finger right there being blindfolded, I can tell you already, that is a Gibson USA standard or above model. And over here, I'm fiddled around. Okay, I can take my finger again. The height nut is a little bit different on this one. It's a little bit skinnier, but I'm going to put my finger above it, and I can slide my finger all the way in there. So then immediately I would know that is an Epiphone. Now if I had a studio, I'd be able to stick my finger in there somewhere in between. So it'd be kind of in between these two. So the studio is more like, I'd say, more like the standard than it is the Epiphone. But anyhow, we don't have a studio, so we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to go with Gibson and Epiphone. Okay, so now I just did it, and I showed you with my finger. Like, I guess I can show you with my finger here. You're going to just look. I'll put my finger right there. I don't know if you can just see that, what my finger look like compared to the 22nd fret to the edge of the fretboard. Moving that finger over, and I slide a hand here. Again, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, but that's not a measuring device, right? Yeah, you might be able to see that. I can see it. Anyhow, okay. Now I'll get the stick out here, and we're going to show you. Now right here, I can put this stick right up against the pickup ring, and because of that nut, I can't get it in there. So I'm going to raise it up. If you can see that, real closely there. Raise it up above it. Okay, so now I'm above it, but against the pickup ring. I can't get it no further than that. If I pushed real hard, I'd probably break that pickup ring. So now we're going to go over and we'll do the same thing with the Epiphone. Now the Epiphone doesn't have that big of a ring, but I'm going to go ahead and go on top of it anyhow. And what's that? It's a huge difference. Wow, look at that. Look at that. I can slide it. Matter of fact, I can slide it all the way through. So there's a difference there. Maybe we should go the other way. Let's try it the other way. Maybe this will show up better. I don't know. Okay. I can't even get it in there at all. There ain't no getting this stick in there. I got my phone in the way, so I'm trying to do this. It's hard. Put it at an angle. I can't get it in there. Okay, so let's go. Now slide a hand. Nothing. Let's go. Let's take that. Hold on a second. Oh, crap. I just set this sliding hand on my chair away. Okay. Again, right here. See? Look at that. I can't get it in there in any kind of way at all. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going over here. Now let's go to the. Look at that. That fits in there pretty good, don't it? It's a little tight right there. That's why I didn't want going from the beginning from right there. So pushing on that, I could be pushing against that pickup ring. I don't want to. So, but if I go slightly at a different, a bit of an angle there, I mean that fits in there just like nothing. See that? Look at there. Can I even think about doing that over here? No, unless it's straight up and down. Maybe I'm hitting the strings there. So anyhow, so that there right there, you ought to be able to see. Look at that difference. See that? See that? Definitely. Okay. Now let's go up to the Epiphone here, or the not the Epiphone, but the neck. Okay. This one I think is pretty easy to show. I'm gonna put that piece of wood there right up against the pickup ring. See? And that ends up being, if you look at that really close, it's about right where the 22nd fret is on this side. See that? Okay. Now let's go. No sleight of hand here at all. Let's put it on the Epiphone. And what we got there? Oh wow, quite a bit of difference. I'd call that probably about an 1/8 of an inch difference. So there we just proved that. The bridge pickup is definitely closer on the USA model than on the Epiphone. The neck pickup is further away from the 22nd fret, meaning going that way. It's moved this way more. That's why there's a bigger difference between the 22nd fret and the edge of the fretboard than there is on the Epiphone. See? Okay, now I told you there was another one I'm going to do, and that's with a piece of paper. Now this one, I can admit, is hard to see. This still isn't thousandths, so I'm going to call this one probably a 1/16 of an inch difference. Take this piece of paper here that I cut so it fits snugly right in between the pickups. See that? If that's getting good, you can see that. Okay, now we'll remove it. No sleight of hand, same exact piece of paper, and we're going to put it in the Gibson. That's a little hard to get in there because it doesn't fit snug. See? I got that snug on there. Flush. There we go, that flush. Well, the reason I can't get it exactly flush here on the bottom is that slight angle is because, see, there is a difference. And that is, I would call that like a 1/16 of an inch. So, there we have it, Dylan. 1/1000th of an inch? I don't think so. Okay, now here's the part I want to talk about where I think I can help Dylan out. Instead of calling him out on YouTube here, and I'm not trying to make him look dumb or anything like that. That's not the point of it. You know, I just, you know what? Hey, I'm an older guy and I used to be a young guy, and I made some mistakes over my 50 plus years without a doubt. And I used to think certain things and found out later that I was wrong. And I think the bigger man will always go, hey, I'm sorry, or I realized my mistake, and okay, that's it. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. So anyhow, that is what it is. So, but here's where I'm gonna help you out, Dylan. If you know this, you should also think about something here. So here's my way another angle. See that? Oops. Look at that. Look at that difference here. Wow. Anyhow, so if you know that there is a difference here, I mean, some guys will go out and they'll buy aftermarket pickups for their Gibson USA models and on their Epiphones, but I would say there's probably a bigger market on people putting aftermarket pickups in cheaper guitars, because you know they come with these crappy pickups and you want to, you know, get it to sound better. Yeah, and of course we've all done that. Nothing wrong with that. And of course there's guys that do it on the more expensive ones too. But anyhow, I think the market's probably more likely that you're going to replace the pickup on your cheaper guitar to get it to sound better, right? So knowing this, what are we going to notice here? See, everything's the same. All the wood the sound of the guitar itself sounds identical. You know, I know that's not true, and that's for another video. Anyhow, yeah, I don't believe in the people that, you know, say that the wood doesn't matter. I'm absolutely think wood matters. I think I'm in the camp with Paul Reed Smith. I totally 100%, 1000% agree with him. Everything makes a difference. So anyhow, so we'll just say everything's the same. So if these were identical, and the only thing that's different is this pickup position, then what's that going to do? This guitar here is going to have a brighter tone on the highs and less bass on the lower side, because this pickup is more this way. Think of it when you flip your switch. What does that do? You'll go to this pickup, you're going to get less highs, more bass. So if you're moving your pickup that way, the tone is going to get more bassier and less treble. So knowing that, a smart guy would go, maybe I should design pickups specifically for an Epiphone, or like I said before, in the middle, the studio. Okay, basically what this, if I didn't say that already, the studio, what it does is the distance between the pickups right here, between here and here, is identical on the studio. And the only difference is it is slightly moved more towards the neck, both of them in unison. So you'll find the studio, like I'm trying to fit something through there, you'll be able to fit your finger in there a little bit more, not as much as the Epiphone. And if you look up here on the studio, that between the 22nd fret and the edge of the fretboard is a little bit shorter. That's probably why, generally speaking, it's not always, but you'll see that studios don't have the binding, so it's kind of like the difference of the binding right there. I wish I had a studio right now I can show you, but I used to. I could see this. But anyhow, so but back to if you could design a pickup specifically for an Epiphone, so what would you do? If I wanted to make this Epiphone sound like this Gibson with pack style pickups, maybe what I want to do is make this go a little less bass and a little more treble. Then that would be a great idea. I could also do the same thing with the studio in the middle, and maybe, you know, not as much of a difference between them. And I could specifically design pickups for different, you know, models of guitar. So there you have it. There it is, Dylan. I did you a favor. Okay? By doing this, you could actually make more money making pickups specifically for different guitars. I think it's pretty cool. So anyhow, I don't have any subscribers, and I know Dylan does, and he does professional videos and all that and stuff. But anybody watching this, hey, if you want to subscribe, that's cool. I don't think I'm ever going to spend my time to make it a living, making YouTube videos. I have a day job. But anyhow, it's fun once in a while. I'll do some stuff. But especially, I guess, when it comes down to it, when I hear something on YouTube and come across on YouTube, it's like a lot of these things that people say, myth things and whatever, I'm gonna call them out, I'm sorry. And there's other guys that do it, like and I'll just say it right here, I absolutely think the wood makes a difference on a guitar. And I'm not going to tell somebody, hey, I can tell you if I'm hearing a guitar, if it's a Strat or a Les Paul even, because I know, quite frankly, that I could play this guitar along with a Strat and do a recording, and I could get them to sound almost identical. And how? Experience and knowledge and stuff. Okay, so but that's not what we're saying. We're talking about when guys say tone, the wood makes a difference, what they're saying is every piece of wood makes a difference. All the hardware, everything. Heck, even with this guitar, I didn't show that, I did do a mod on it. I put locking tuners on it. And also I did not put locking tuners on it because of the tuning. Okay, that's another myth. I guess I could do a video on that one. Okay, the locking tuners don't really do anything for tuning. They make it so you can change your strings real quick. If they're doing it for tuning, you have, and if your guitar's staying in tune more, you think, because you put tuners on, you're wrong. Quite frankly, it's wrong. But anyhow, that's a total other video. Maybe I'll do a video about that someday. But anyhow, the wood makes a difference. Every piece of wood makes a difference. I know it's electronics and the physics behind it, but the thing is this thing is picking up the vibration of this string. This string is vibrating because of the material that it's connected to. and that goes from the bridge to the nut and everything in between. And I think, just my opinion, this part and this part, everything that's not between here, going down underneath the strings to the body and to the nut, can make a difference, but probably not as much. But it all makes a difference. So anyhow, I'm rambling on about tone wood, and I shouldn't be on this video. But anyhow, I just want to tell people that's who you're talking to, or you're listening to right now. It's a guy who, yes, I absolutely do believe the wood makes a difference. I believe everything makes a difference, like Paul Reed Smith says. I'm also the guy that says I think pickups. Okay, this will help you out too, Dylan. And there's some idiot, what's his name, SMG, Glenn Fricker, that goes around. He's like one of the worst guys online making myth busting videos that are retarded, you know, because he's clickbaiting for kids. I think that's what it quite frankly is, and I find that offensive because, you know, I'm an older guy. I was a young kid. I got some information by older guys when I was learning and stuff like that, and I really appreciate that. And I really despise when I hear a guy giving somebody false information. Okay, that makes me mad, and that, yeah, so that's one reason I'm doing this video. It's not that I'm mad at Dylan. It's just like it's the information. I want the kids to get the right information out there, because, you know, hey, guys helped me out when I was young, and I want to return the favor and help them out and give it to the next generation. So that's why I do a video like this. So anyhow, so I do believe in tone wood. I also believe that pickups make a difference. You know, are they the most important difference? It depends on the guitar. Quite frankly, there's never no, that's what a lot of this stuff, when people say there's differences, there are, and it's like, how much is it? Is it this much? Is it this much? And it's not always the same. Some guitars, pickups really don't make that much of a difference. I've, you know, had other guitars that made a huge difference. You know, some guitars, the pickup height makes a huge difference. Some doesn't really make all that much difference. You know, so it's, everyone is individual. That's the nice thing about guitar. This one here, this is this guitar, and that is that one. I can play these. I mean, you're not going to hear this now, but I can go. That has a tone to it. I can hear it. Stop it. I can go. That has a tone to it, and I can hear it. I can hear the tone acoustically when it's amplified, even with gain. But that takes a lot of playing, a lot of years, maybe some decent gear too. I'm not going to, you know, say that's not true. But anyhow, so to continue with that. Pickups, me, yeah, absolutely make a difference. Now, tubes, yes, absolutely. Preamp tubes, power amp tubes. I've done a gazillion preamp tubes swapping. They call it preamp or tube rolling, power tubes and stuff like that, and absolutely makes a difference. Biasing your amps. I know how to bias amps. I've done that for years, and yes, that does make a difference. So now, again, it's like this, but you have to think about when guys are saying this stuff. These guys aren't young kids that just started playing. These are guys who are, how can I explain it? It's like, say you're a football player and you're a wide receiver, and when you're a kid, you learn how to catch, right? You know, that once you start going through, you know, junior high and high school and college and the pros, you keep learning more and more and more, and then you're not practicing that catch thing. You're practicing plays, and then practicing all the tiny little things. And once you get to the pros, they're spending most of their time practicing probably on that, you know, 1 to 5% difference that's going to make them better. Okay, and that's when all those older guys, or you don't have to be old to say this, like a young guy could learn this and probably hear it too eventually, you know, is these differences when it comes to pickups and woods and tubes and all that, is it takes a trained ear to hear that. You know, and it depends on what you're playing through. I mean, if you're playing, you know, or the guys that play genres of, like, you know, I don't know what you call it, but they call it metal, but to me it doesn't sound like metal. But anyhow, it's the kind of music that has way too much distortion, and they're usually always using the same exact style amps, the same exact speakers, same exact mics. Those guys, when it comes to, say, guitar wood, tone wood, and pickups, yeah, that doesn't make a difference. And I would tell a guy like that, yeah, don't waste your money, you know. But anybody who plays anything with less gain and you know, over time you're going to hear it. You're not going to hear it right maybe from the very beginning, but it just takes a trained ear. I mean, it's like anything in life. The longer you do something, the better you are at it, and the more you know about it, and, you know, eventually you get your what they call it, your 10,000 hours in or whatever. Not necessarily that it takes that long, but, you know, but anyhow, you're going to improve. You're going to improve, not only just your skills of playing guitar, but you're also going to improve your ear, and you want to hear things. So anyhow, so I'm one of those guys. I can debunk every one of those myths that those guys put out when it comes to that tubes don't make a difference, or that wood don't make a difference, and all that kind of stuff. What was that one guy? What was his name? I'll point him out too, since I'm going there. Jim Lill, whatever. He built a guitar, and then takes it and then puts the bridge and the nut between two workbenches. Well, all he proved there is that the workbenches sound the same as his piece of junk guitar. That's all he proved. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. There's other guys that have done videos that show you about tone wood, and it's like I said, yeah, it's a very subtle thing. It's not night and day, but you're going to hear it. The same way with pickups sometimes. Sometimes with pickups, I actually think, again, Dylan, this is helping you out, I think the pickups do make more of a difference than the tone wood and then the tubes, But a lot of that stuff is, some of it isn't, you can't hear it on YouTube. It's called fill. Okay, and I think I'll probably need to do a video on that one to explain what fill is, because I think a lot of guys don't understand that. So sometimes when those differences are helping you on that part of your playing, and then some guys, will prefer something or other because of the way it feels. And maybe that's a topic for another day. So anyhow, that's it. Better leave this alone. I've been going on too long now. So anyhow, there we go. That's the difference between a Gibson USA and an Epiphone. See you next time.